Let's talk about Willie Nelson. So, you would be hard pressed to find anyone alive more beloved in the cannabis industry. 91-year-old outlaw country singer, guitarist, and songwriter is not only one of the most recognized artists in the music world, but he's also acted in over 30 films. He's been involved in activism for the use of biofuels and, of course, cannabis legalization. One of the lesser known facts about Willie Nelson is that he's also a versatile writer who's co-authored several books in genres ranging from autobiography to biographical nonfiction, self-help, wellness, and fiction. And now he and his wife, Annie Nelson, are teaming up to offer a fresh method of consumption, combining all of his lifelong talents, accomplishments, and love for weed together in the form of an infused cannabis cookbook. According to relix.com, Willie and Annie are taking readers on a journey through meals past, while also bestowing recipes guaranteed to produce an effective buzz with Willie and Annie Nelson's cannabis cookbook, mouth-watering recipes, and the high-flying stories behind them, which is due on 24. Over a lifetime of study, is what he said. Over a lifetime of study, I learned that pot is more than pleasure. Its positive properties are limitless. Willie Nelson writing the It's a blessing and a blast. It's good fuel. Together with chef drummer, more on that in a second, one of the most celebrated in cannabis chefs, and my wife, Annie, the most celebrated chef in our home, I'm excited to help you cook meals. For the official press release, Willie and Annie Nelson's Cannabis Cookbook presents meals enjoyed on the road, at home, on the family ranch, and while visiting the pair's favorite cities. In addition to recipes, the book will also present a personal account of Willie's food-related tales, from buffalo wings and chocolate cake to Southern favorites. The curated collection delivers easy-to-make directions intended for any chef or aspiring cook looking to get a little more out. Co-authored by David Ritz, Mia Tangretti, and a good friend of mine, a name well known in Black cannabis circles and beyond, Chef Andrea Drummer. Notably, the book features a chapter dedicated to recipes surrounding cannabis-dominant based ingredients like butter, oil, simple syrups, sugars, salts, and tinctures, providing enthusiasts of the spike product space to build on their kitchen creations. I've never been much of a country music fan, but there's always been something different about Willie that made him dudes alike, even making me my wannabe gang. The country music legend. We even used to blast on the road again, out the back of our beaters, hotboxing down country roads. And there's just something about his sound, authenticity, and relatability. Hero to everybody against the system. And I don't think many more things in life are more universal than in bringing weed and food. So it makes sense to me. And I think right on brand for the old outlaw to drop a cookbook. I don't know how good the recipes in it will be, but it has piqued my interest, and I'll most likely be cooking up some Willie heat in the kitchen this holiday season. What about y'all? If you're interested, you can go ahead and there's a link to pre-order Willie and Annie Nelson's Cannabis Cookbook, mouth-watering recipes and the high-flying stories behind them at high9news.com. I'm Rico Lamitte, the dopest dad on the street. High 9 News. On the road again.
And little cookbook, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna have some special recipes in there, a little woo wop with some doodads in there.
Doodads and the woo wop. I love it.
Yes.
Bring it on. I'm already pre-ordered here. I thank you for bringing the story up, Rico. I was glad somebody grabbed it. Turk Pipkin, famous, he's an actor and comedian and an author and a great friend of Willie's. His words were, "I don't know anyone who comes close to knowing what Annie knows about cooking with cannabis." So this is, I'm stoked on it. And even if you're not into cannabis, like, you got to buy it for the stories. Willie is universal. The only people that hate Willie hate our country.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, I'm not mad at that, Stone. That was pretty patriotic of you.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, if you don't like dogs, Willie Nelson, or weed, I don't like you. Straight up.
Fair
I'm
enough.
on that bus.
Fair enough. What do you have to say,
I think
Rochelle?
was pretty famous for coming around and saying, "Hey, I was going to drink myself to death. I started smoking weed and saved my life."
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people have found it's a harm reducer or serious drugs when you're not ready to walk away, being what they call California sober. It's a lot healthier for you than drinking yourself to death or smoking that meth pipe until you're pickling pickles for a nickel and somebody stabbed you in the back alley.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, that took a dark turn.
Yeah, right.
I like it.
Hey.
Hopefully there's no pickles for a nickel recipe in there.
Yeah. Nickel pickles.
Tickles for nickels.
We're really excited about this cookbook drop over at Green State. We were just talking about it yesterday. And we actually plan to try to do a little Willie Nelson dinner party and try out some of the recipes. So stay tuned for more on that.
You know, that's what I was thinking. I can totally see people having like events, catered events where they are like having special chefs come and curate different recipes out of this book. I can totally see this happening.
Yeah, I was like kind of on the fence about it. I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna get a cannabis cookbook. It's just gonna collect dust. But Andrea, man,
the sad
Andrea's
part
the
about
homie.
it. The sad part about it. The sad part about it is that all of the consumption lounges, they can't infuse cannabis into food. So the only type of events where this is actually going to be feasible are going to be
private
trap type events.
Yep, private events.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
So you call trap events private events now?
No, you can do it at private events, right? You know what I'm saying? You're paying for the experience. You're not paying for the weed.
Exactly.
You're paying for entry into the space. There's a legal loophole, I'm very, very well acquainted with.
Adults are able to share here in California, so come on over and mix up some cannabis butter and make whatever the hell you want.
Yes,
a barbecue.
I hope that this book has a bunch of like different Willie-isms inside, like different quotes inside the book that correlate with the different recipes, because I just feel like that would be fun to read to people as you're like hosting one of these parties.
Agreed. I'm excited. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to read the stories behind it and fuck up some shit in the kitchen too. Get my wife to fix it. So
I mean, you're just gonna give her the dishes, Rico.
I do the dishes.
You do the dishes?
I actually, she cooks, I clean. That's our trade-off.
Oh, okay. All right. That's cute.
I'm OCD.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. Yeah. I wouldn't be mad at a similar deal. I'm not mad, But nonetheless, we're going to go to...
You wouldn't even think a toddler lived in my house, man. Come over here, clean as fuck.
I mean, your daughter's pretty smarter than most toddlers, though, Rico. So I'm not even...
She is.